Okay, Longer just sent me some details on a brand new product they're about to release. This is the upcoming ePrint UV hobby printer, and it goes live on Kickstarter very soon. But what exactly is an ePrint? Well, I don't have one of these printers yet, but my fingers are definitely crossed that there's going to be one coming to me. I do, however, have some details, so let's talk about those because there are definitely going to be some things here that might give the eufyMake E1 a real run for its money. So let's go. Longer has always been a friend of this channel because they've always made high quality, price conscious products, and now they're back with a brand new tool in a completely new market for them. It's the ePrint, and it's not a laser, it's a UV printer, and it has some amazing features that are designed specifically for hobbyists, small workshops, and anyone else who wants to print full color graphics directly onto finished products. So let's go through some of the things they've sent me, and I'll give you my opinion on this new entry into a growing hobby UV printer market that exploded at the beginning of this year when the eufyMake E1 hit the scene. This just got a whole lot more interesting. And let me start by showing you a video that's a promotional video I assume they're going to use for advertising because it talks about all the specifications, and I'll just go through those while the video is playing. And I'll just let this play through to the first point I want to stop. So you can see this is the world's first dual printhead laser. The workspace here is 310 by 420, and that's pretty large actually. That's bigger certainly than a Eufy E1 overall, and it's probably going to be able to handle pretty much anything you're going to want to throw at it as far as a big photo like this iguana or chameleon that they've got here. So the next big differentiator here is this dual printhead system. I guess what this means is you can have two printheads running independently, so you're doing maybe 2 lines at a time, or potentially you're doing one printhead has the color and one printhead has the white and gloss potentially. They're a little vague, but we'll see how this works. Now, some people might complain that you could get 6 times the performance here, but that comes at a cost of having twice as much hardware, which means maybe twice as much potential for maintenance. 2 printheads is fairly expensive, so there could be maintenance costs long term. We'll see how it goes. I think it should be okay, but we'll see how they handle it when I actually get my hands on one of these things. All right, the next thing they claim in this video is the resolution at 1440 dots per inch. Now that's pretty typical on the horizontal for almost every UV printer. What they don't say is if this is also the resolution in the vertical direction. A Eufy E1, for example, the vertical direction is 720 pixels per inch. It'll at least be that, and hopefully it's the higher resolution 1440 to give you really, really fine resolution on anything you print. Also a million colors. That's pretty typical given that they've got 6 ink bottles here, then they can pretty much mix any shade you want. The next claim here is that there are 6 big ink cartridges, and you can see them pouring ink into one of these things. Now, this is nice because you can get a bigger bottle and you can fill these things up. They're probably bigger than, say, an E1 at 100 milliliters. And they also have this claim here about using food-safe inks, which I think is a real big benefit as well. So all of this implies that you can use any ink you want. You don't have to necessarily use something supplied by Longer. So I think that opens up a lot more doors as well, because there are some higher grade inks. Now, I would say you probably don't want to use the cheapest ink you can find on Amazon, but there is potential here to use different inks other than what the manufacturer provides. The next claim is around the emboss depth here, and I find this a bit confusing because I'm not entirely sure if this is how thick the texture could be, which is just astounding to me, or just simply how big of an object you can put into the printer. I suspect it's the latter, and I'm going to get some clarification, but no matter what, you can certainly do some textured engraving here. That's kind of a characteristic of some of these portable and small UV printers. So expect really nice engraving, and you can certainly see some of it here. And the last claim here is that you can print on any material. Now, time will tell whether this is a bit of a misleading claim. It's probably true, because certainly any UV printer can print on almost anything. Now, interesting here, they show you some phone cases, and phone cases sometimes are silicone rather than plastic. Now, I've had trouble printing UV ink on silicone, so if they figured out a way to do that, that would be fantastic. So overall, these are some pretty serious specifications, and I'm pretty excited to actually see one of these. Personal UV printing has exploded this year because it gives you something of incredible value. It gives you full customization with almost zero production time and not a whole lot of thought. You're literally printing finished products in minutes, and you can do this pretty much anywhere. You can print things like phone cases, leather tags, acrylic ornaments. These are all cheap to buy, fast to produce, and easy to personalize. You can literally turn a $1 blank into a $15 product without breaking a sweat. And this is why eufyMake E1 took off so quickly, but Longer has had an opportunity to check out that competition and find several places here that I've shown you where they can implement some valuable improvements. And more competition usually means evolving features, better software, and, let's be honest, better pricing for makers like us. So is Longer going to be the next contender in the hobby UV printing market? With some of the features I've shown you here, they could just be the new market leader. And we'll find that out soon enough, because Longer is launching the ePrint as a Kickstarter starting November 25th. And I'll put a link in the description to that project and affiliate links to Longer's site once this is all widely available. So keep an eye on the description here. I hope to see one of these printers soon, and if I can get my hands on one, I'll have a full review available for everyone so you can kind of get a feel for how this printer actually works. We live in interesting times, and the Longer ePrint could make things a whole lot more fun. So let's get out there and make our worlds, and I'll see you next time.